Hello, welcome to Teen Tech Code Your Own App. My name is Miss Rebecca. I work at the Greenbelt Branch, and today we are going to be doing an hour of code, learning to code our own app. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Okay, and I'm just going to go ahead and put in studio.code.org/s/applab-intro. It should bring us right to it. And I'm just gonna sign myself out because I have my own account. Okay, so the first thing it's going to ask you to do is either to sign in or provide your age. So you don't have to create an account right now, but you do have to tell them what your age is, so I'm going to answer honestly. And hit try now. I'm going to skip the video, although the videos are a little helpful, so you can watch them on your own. And the most important thing to remember when you're coding is simply to make sure that you read the directions and that you're not afraid to make mistakes. So up here we have the instructions, we have our directions, and then if we're stuck, we can click here to see how the blocks get dragged. Now we could code this by hand if we knew JavaScript, because that's what we're going to be working with today. It's the language of the web. But today we're going to be using these drag and drop blocks. So, okay, the first thing, here's our run space. So we're going to see what the app is actually going to do. And here's our workspace where we're going to place our blocks. And our blocks are all in our toolbox. So the goal is to make the screen green. So set a property block. Use the drop down to select the background color to green, then hit run. Okay, that sounds pretty easy. So I'm going to go ahead and grab this block and click it where you see the little black lump. So it clicks into the workspace. Okay, set property for screen 1, background color. It's set to red. So we'll hit the drop down menu and we'll set it to green. And then we'll hit run to make sure that we've done this correctly. Yes, okay. So we were able to turn the screen green successfully. I'm going to go ahead and hit finish. And continue. Feel free to play around with the drop-down options on any given thing. This is your own work time, so you don't necessarily have to rush right through everything. Okay, make the text bigger and blue. And you can see on the right here, it shows us what it's supposed to look like. So you need 2 lines of codes, give a label, a font size of 80, and a text color of blue. Okay, so click my first block. Label 1, we need to select font size. And it says to set it to 80. So I'm going to go ahead and just type in 80. And it says we need a second block. It told us that. So I'm going to add a second block. And the text color, instead of red, we're going to select blue. So let's run the code and see if that made our code bigger and bluer. Yes, success. Okay, I'll hit finish and continue. Okay, make the buttons red and blue. Okay, so these are the buttons. Make me red, make me blue, and then change the text in the large orange label. Remember, you can hover over the elements to see their ID. So when I hover over the Make Me Red button, it says ID button 1. If I hover over the Make Me Blue button, it says ID button 2. And then this main body here is label 1. So set the background color of the buttons to red and blue. So I want to be button 1. We want to change the background color and we want it to be red. Okay, so that's perfect. Okay, button 2, drop down to background color, and we'll go ahead and make it blue. You can also just type in the word blue. You don't necessarily have to use the drop down. Code.org is pretty smart. Okay, and the last thing we have to do is write code to change my text. Okay, so I'm gonna add one more block. Label 1, that's the main body of my text. We want the text to say, hello world. All right, let's run the code and see if we did it right. Yes, our red button is red, our blue button is blue, and our new message is displayed in the main body. So I'm gonna hit finish and continue. Another video, I'm just gonna hit continue to skip past it. Okay, ooh, see a new type of block. The goal is the screen will start out blue, add code so it turns green when you click the Greenify button. Add code inside the on event that says the screen's background color to green. Okay, so the first thing that's going to happen is that the screen is background color is going to be set to blue. This is our big button. I just moused over it to make sure I have the right thing. So when we click it, we want it to change the background color to green. I'll go ahead and run. Okay, our background is blue. I'm going to press the button and ta-da, it turns green. So hit finish and continue. Okay, help finish this flashlight app. The on button already turns the screen white. Run the app and try it out, then write code so the off button makes the screen black again. Okay, let's see if we can do that. Let's run it and see what that looks like. So if we turn it on, oh, the text turns black and the background turns white. But right now, our off button isn't set to anything. So let's set some properties. Change this to our screen. Notice at the top it says off button click, so we're in the right thing. Okay, we want to set the background to black. And then I see that there's a second part here that changes the text color. So if we still want to see that text flashlight app, we're going to have to add another block inside the on event for label 1. That's what this is right here. Set the text color to white. All right, let's go ahead and run this and see if we did it correctly. I'm going to press reset and run. So we turn it on, flashlight comes on, we turn it off, our flashlight goes off again. Okay, so we've done it successfully. Excellent. Go ahead and hit finish and continue. Gonna skip past this video. Ooh, there are a lot of things right here. Let's see. This soundboard is almost done. Run it to see how it works. Then add an image, text, and sound to the last button. Okay. So I'm going to run it first. Ooh, look, I got pictures. So monkey, tiger, horse, and then you choose. So when I hit the monkey, it makes a monkey sound. I hit tiger, it makes a tiger roar. Hit horse, the horse neighs. And now I am going to choose a cat. So let's see. Add an on event to the program and set the ID to button 4. Drag a play sound into the on event and choose a sound from the library. Okay, so there's a sound library we can choose from. So I'm going to follow that instruction. I'm going to add a new on event. We're going to set it to button 4, which is this right here. When it clicks, we want it to play a sound. I'm going to press this little arrow. Let's see. How do we access the sound library? Okay, oh, I see. Ah, I see. There's a thing here that pops up that says choose. I'm going to close this because it's kind of in my way. That's what I couldn't see. Oh, wow. There are a lot of sounds that we can search for. Since we're doing animals, I'm going to stick with animals. And let's listen to the cat. Nice little meow there. I'm going to make sure that's selected and choose it. Okay. So I've done that. Let's make sure that that works. I'm going to hit reset and run. Looks like you left one of the parameters empty. Okay, so I made a mistake. Let's figure this out. And this cat. I wonder what it is that I left empty. Add set property outside your on event. Ah, outside the on event, change the button's image property. Okay, so that's how we're going to set the picture. I'm going to get a little bit of help here. Ah, okay. Button 4, click, play the sound. That should be right. So now I'm going to go ahead and change that picture. So I'm going to put the set property outside of our on event blocks. I'm going to select button 4. I'm going to select image. And let's see. What do we have to choose from with the images? Okay, so we can either upload something or we can choose an icon. I'm going to search for a cat, see if there's a cat icon. Oh, no icon found. Okay. Well, luckily I have Smudge the Mean Cat already downloaded. So I'm going to go to upload file. And there's my meme cat. I'm going to choose it. And I'm going to reset and run. Oh, I could put, instead of you choose, I could put cat. Now, where would that go exactly? I think that would have to go outside of our on event. So set button for text cat exclamation point. Nope, not mcat, just regular cat. Okay, let's reset and run. There we go. So now it actually says cat. We've got a cat. And when we click on it, we hear the cat sound. Okay, so we have fixed all the bugs in our code. You see that our debugging console is now empty. So I'm going to go ahead and play my cat sound one more time because it makes me so happy. And then I'm going to hit finish and continue. Okay, another video, so I'm going to skip over that. Okay, this looks very different. Notice that instead of in the code mode, we're in design mode now. So let's see, add a second button to the screen that says write with an ID of write button. Okay. How? In design mode, drag in a new button, position and resize it, then set its ID, text, background color, and font size. Okay. So let's see what we have in our toolbox here now. Buttons, text input, all the things that I would see in an app. And here is our text area. So it says drag and drop it. I'm just going to drag it and drop it right in here. It's a little too big, so I'm going to need to resize it. Still a little too big. I love that we have the X and Y axis that helps us to see how big things are. And that way we can tell if we've got our buttons the same size. All right, let's see. We dragged in a new button, we positioned and resized it. We want to set it to right button as its ID. The text is going to say write, exclamation point. Right now, it doesn't look too much like the other buttons, so we're going to have to play around with some of this. Here's the text color. Let's change it from black to white. Okay, so now our text disappears because it's got a white background. So let's change the background color. And I'll scroll down a little bit here. Ooh, lots of pretty colors. I'm going to pick my favorite color, which is teal. All right. Now, let's see. The font is probably fine, but that font size is a little small. Let's try 25. That looks almost right. Let's make it 32. That looks perfect. But the problem is it's not aligned in the center. So in the text alignment, instead of left, we're going to put center alignment. And then there's things like border colors. So there's a lot of different things that we can do here. All right, let's go ahead and run it. I think we did it correctly. All right. Hit reset and finish. Okay, new goal. Create a new screen called Write Screen. add a text label that says you went right. All right. So I'm going to go in my toolbox here. It says create a new screen. So here's the screen. I'm going to drag and drop that. All right, so now we have a blank screen. It's called screen 1. We want to call it right screen. And what does it say that we want to add? A text label that says you went right. Yep, see the example right here in the corner. So that's what we want it to look like. So I'm going to drag my box up here. We'll resize it, make it a bit bigger. Okay. We want to say you went right. And this doesn't look exactly like this, so it looks like we're going to have to play again a little bit here. Text color, we'll go ahead and make that white. Background color, we'll go ahead and make that red. We'll leave the font alone. Well, let's change the font just for funsies. How about Tahoma? And that's a lot bigger than this, so let's try 48. That's maybe a little too big. 32, maybe somewhere in the middle. Close enough. And we're going to center our text because center text looks really nice. Okay, so now when we press the left button, it should say you went left. And when we press the right button, it should say you went right. Uh-oh, it's not working. Why is it not working? Well, that's because we forgot to set up an event. We forgot to tell it that when we want to click on it, we want to go right. So what I can do is go into my code, add a new on event. And when we click on the right button, we want it to set screen to right screen. All right, let's see if that worked. So I'm going to hit reset and run. And when we click on the right, it should say, there we go, you went right. Okay, we've completed the mystery. I'm going to hit finish and continue. Oh, we got ahead of ourselves. We actually guessed that first. But I noticed that when you click the left button, it actually plays a sound. And here's the code for that, play sound. So let's set a play sound with that. Default, and it's set to false. So I'm going to set this one to false as well. And it made a little doop, little noise, just like it did for the left one. All right, good for us. Look at us getting ahead of ourselves. So we'll go ahead and hit finish and continue. Another video that we're going to skip. Okay, now the goal is to build our own app. So I am going to, I like personality quizzes a lot. See some of the examples that they have over here, like what's your favorite food? Let's check that out. Oh, it's got music. If I click pizza, it says I'm a bit cheesy. Sushi, you ask questions when the things smell fishy. How about curry? I love curry. You've got a pretty hot temper. I don't like my curry too hot, but okay, that's cool. I think I can do something like this. All right. Well, looks like I'm gonna have to clear out my workspace. Let me look at the personality quiz ideas. And it says try an example out. Oh, that's the one we just did. Good guess, good for us. All right, so we need to get rid of our stuff and we're just gonna drag it back into our toolbox. And now instead of our user interface controls, that's what the UI stands for, we also have controls, math, and variables. But let's just stick with the user interface controls today, just so that we can learn to build an app. I want to get rid of some of this stuff. So I'm going to go to my design and get rid of everything that's on this screen. All right, what kind of personality quiz will I do? How about my favorite anime in quarantine has been JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. So I'm gonna make a which JoJo are you personality quiz. The first thing I want to do is maybe go ahead and put a nice text up here. Which JoJo are you? Now we can really play around with it, have a good time. I'm going to set it to white because I'm going to make a nice background color. Maybe I'll go ahead and pick my favorite again. It's my favorite hair color to do. Okay, which JoJo are you? Let's change the font to Impact. And let's make it a bit bigger. Try 25. That's pretty good. 32. That's perfect. And we'll go ahead and center that up. Now my border, let's make it a few pixels thicker. And instead of making a little boring gray border, let's pick a nice red. See how I changed it over there? Sometimes people have asked me, Miss Rebecca, what are these weird letters and numbers? These are color codes. So every single hue of a color has its own code. You don't need to know the codes, but you can look them up if you want to. I find it easier to use the color wheel. All right, so which JoJo are you? I'm gonna add another text box to make it a bit smaller. This is text area 3. Choose your JoBro. I think I'll just leave that as regular text, but I'll center it because it just looks prettier that way. All right, now we need to add some pictures. So add picture 1, picture 2, picture 3, and picture 4. These look pretty even. Yeah, I say that works. Okay, so now we have to fill in our picture. So I'm gonna go ahead and click on my first image, and our first Joe Bro is gonna be Caesar Zeppeli. So I'm gonna give it that name. I'm gonna choose an image, upload a file. I just got these images off of Google Images, but you can also use a great royalty-free database called Pixabay to find pictures of all different things here. So there's Caesar. I'm going to go ahead and choose him. All right. Clicking on my second picture. I'm going to choose one of my favorites, Kakuin. So upload my file. There's Kakuin. Choose him. Picture 3. Picture 3 is going to be my boy Okuyasu from part 4. So I'll go ahead and upload that file. And choose. And then my last picture is going to be from Golden Wind, Mista. So I'll go ahead and upload that file of Mista. And choose it. Okay. Oh, we've done a lot here. You know what? I don't like how this box has that gray border. I think I'm going to get rid of that. So I'm going to click on this property, which is text area 3. And I'm going to go to border width, and I'm going to go down to 0. Ah, so there you go. It's nice and bright white. Okay, that is perfect. All right, now I need to label these. So I need a text box. Caesar. And I think I'm fine with that size and that font. Even with the alignment, the left alignment, I think is fine. I'll change it to center. And I'm going to get rid of that border. And then I'm going to shrink it down so that it fits nice and neat under Caesar's face. Perfect. That looks super professional. Now I see that there's a button here that says duplicate. It's just like doing Control-C, copy. So instead of redoing all those steps every time, I'm just going to hit duplicate. And now I've got another box to work with. Oops. Gotta grab it. So I'm going to change the text to Kakuin. And I'll go ahead and duplicate that. Grab that here. Put in Okuyasu. And one more duplication. Move that over. And we'll label that Mista. Okay, so now my first screen is set up. Now I need another screen. In fact, I'm going to need 1, 2, 3, 4 other screens because I want each of these to go to something different when I click on them. So, okay, let me go and add one screen. Screen 2 is going to be Joseph Joestar. So I'm going to go ahead and choose my file. There's Joseph Joestar. And choose it. So we get a nice big picture of Joseph Joestar. So I'm just going to add some text here. You got Joseph Joestar. And I think I want that to be in that high impact font too. Yeah, that looks good. 14 is probably big enough. Center justify. Let me get my little arrows. And I think that's a good placement. Not bad, not bad. Okay, let's add screen 2. Well, technically this is screen 3. Let's add our screen for our second button. And we will call this one Jotaro. So I'm going to upload my file of Jotaro and his stand, Star Platinum, which is one of my faves. And let's see, text area. You got Jotaro. Impact font. Just look a little small. I guess I could make it bigger if I wanted to. I'm just going to keep it just as it is. Make that smaller. Okay, so now we've got our second thing. You know, I was thinking back to the example that we saw, and the example that we saw had a little back button so that you didn't have to reset and run every single time. I wonder how we would do that here. What's a slider? Oh, I see. Well, I guess it's something I can explore later. For now, I'm going to keep on keeping on and make my screen for my third button. And this one is going to be Josuke. So I've got to upload my file of Josuke. And choose it. I'll add my text box. You got Josuke. Change my font. Center justify. And I'm just going to go ahead and adjust the size of this box a little bit here. That looks pretty good right there. Maybe I'll move it down a little bit more. There we go. Okay, we got one more screen to do. Drag the screen over. Screen number 5 is going to be Giorno Giovanna. So I'm just going to upload my file of Giorno with golden experience. And I'm going to add my text. You got Giorno. Adjust my font. And the size. Oh, I've got to center it. There we go. See, centered stuff looks nice and neat. There we go. All right, so now I have all these different screens. I have the 4 that I created, and we have our screen 1. So now it's time to add some code into the mix. So I'm going to go to the coding side, and let's see here. I think I need to start with an on event block. And we want it to set screen. So when we click on Caesar, we want it to go to Joseph. All right, so that's 1. When we click on Kakyoin, nope, not set property, set screen. We want it to go to Jotaro. When they click on Okuyasu, we want it to go to Josuke. And last but not least, when we click on Mista, we want it to go to Giorno. I'm looking at this here. I'm wondering if the back buttons have something to do with this. And if I don't know what something does, I can just mouse over it and see, it'll actually tell me what it does. But since I don't know how to use those right now, I'm going to skip it. All right. Let's hit run. So, okay. Looks like I lost some of my text. I wonder why that happened. No problem. I'm just going to duplicate and quickly put everything back in. Oops. Looks like I made that too big. These controls are a little bit tough sometimes. Gotta use a steady hand. Okay, that's Okuyasu. Okay, one more duplicate. And Mista. Okay. Hopefully that should stay where we want it to stay. Let's try run, fingers crossed. Okay, everything stayed right we wanted it to do. So this is our personality quiz. Which JoJo are you? Choose your JoBro. If I choose Caesar, you get Joseph Joestar. If I reset and run, I click Kakyoin, we get Jotaro and Star Platinum. If I reset and run and click Okuyasu, you get Josuke from Diamond is Unbreakable. And if I reset and run and choose Mista, get Giorno Giovanna from Golden Wind. So that's it. That's my basic app. I could, as we know, give it some sounds. I could try to maybe figure out how to make a back button so I don't have to reset and run everything, but we don't always have to do all these things. It's really more about what you want to do and how complicated you want your app to be. And the cool thing is that this doesn't just have to disappear. You can actually share this with people. And you can share that by going up here to the top left corner, hit share. And it will say that you need to create an account. So if you are 13 years or older, you can create an account. If you're under 13, you want to get your parents' permission first, but it is a free account. I already have an account, so I'm just going to sign in. And go to share. And there's a bunch of different ways I could do this. You can either copy the link to share. You could share it on social media. You can publish to the public code.org page, or you can send it to your phone. So if you wanted to send it to your phone, you can either scan this QR code or you can enter your phone number and have it texted to you. I've already done that earlier, so I'm going to go ahead and hit publish. And they're letting me know that anybody in the world will be able to view my project and want to make sure it doesn't contain any inappropriate content or personal information, which it does not. And we'll hit publish. And that's it. We just made an app. What will you do with your new app making skills? You can make as many new apps as you want on this. So I encourage you to be creative, think about your favorite things, maybe make an app for your friends. That would be really cool. I hope that you enjoyed making an app with me today, and I look forward to seeing you all soon. Take care.